Hey everybody, it's Brian. Welcome back to the Sunnydale Review. Before we get started, I just wanted to address where we've been for the last year or so. In 2021, we decided to put the Sunnydale Review on hiatus due to the news that came out about Joss Whedon. It didn't feel right to praise him for the show when we found out about the mistreatment of actors and actresses happening behind the scenes. While we don't have any current plans to bring the show back, we did pre-record a few episodes that we've never released. This is one of those episodes. So while we're not back, and I don't know if or when that will ever happen, we hope you enjoy these. We stand with Charisma and Ray. Enjoy the episodes. Hey everybody, welcome back to the Sunnydale Review. I'm Brian.
I'm Jillian.
Jillian, how you doing?
I'm good. This is the fourth episode that we're recording today, so Shroud of Rahmon is a bizarre, just weird. I don't. Any other word I use to describe it is just going to be a synonym of those two. But yeah, it's an interesting one. So I don't know. I was taking notes from this last night, and I was just like, what is going on with this episode? It is so bizarre.
It is. But let's just get into it. Let's go.
All right. So Shroud of Rahmon, Season 2, Episode 8, originally aired November 21st, 2000, so not quite a Thanksgiving episode, but it's not themed. It's not a themed Thanksgiving episode. Written by Jim Kouf, Kouf. Sorry, Jim. I can't say last names. And directed by David Grossman. Wow, hi.
You can tell this is the fourth recording.
Yeah, it's getting to that point, guys. All right, so the episode opens with two men we don't know. They're clearly detectives of some kind, and they're staring at a man sitting in an interrogation room through one-way glass. They think the man in the interrogation room is playing with them and knows what happened. They say that he clearly has mental problems. Apparently, one man has died and another one is close to dying. They enter the interrogation room, and the man sitting at the table is Wesley. Uh-oh.
Yeah. So the least likely person I would think to be involved with the double murder. But here we are.
So Wesley starts saying a lot of stuff that doesn't make a lot of sense. The cops tell him to tell them what happened. Wesley says it all went horribly wrong, and then we get a flash of Angel throwing a woman to the ground in full vamp face with blood on his mouth. Returning from the opening credits, we're with Wesley in the interrogation room with the detectives again. He keeps talking about things that happened, how he did this and he did that, but Wesley clearly isn't talking about himself, but he won't tell the detectives who he is. We see the audience clearly knows that he's we as the audience know that he's clearly talking about Angel.
Right.
But he's just not saying the name. Wesley has a realization about Cordelia, and then we are transported to a scene that clearly happened before, the bad things that we don't know about yet. Wesley walks in and asks Cordelia what happened to her head. She's clearly trying out a new hairstyle. He seems shocked at first, but tells her it looks great. When asked when she started doing her hair like that, she responds 10 days ago. Clearly, Wesley is observant as ever. Which I did watch the Passion of the Nerd episode on this episode. And in it, he references the audio commentary from the DVD, where basically Charisma Carpenter, who plays Cordelia, had been begging the producers to let her cut her hair for a long time. She had that really gorgeous long brown hair, and she said it was just really heavy and just really like a pain in the ass. So she had been begging them to let her cut her hair, and this was kind of their first attempt at her cutting her hair. It's something that they get a better handle on in later episodes and later seasons. They eventually kind of figure it out, but this was their first. So it was like a running joke that made its way into this episode about we need to acknowledge that she's cut her hair. And then I think that maybe the stylist just didn't know how to style it, or if it's a joke that Cordelia cut her hair and now doesn't exactly know how to style it quite right yet or something. I don't know. She does end up going even shorter later, and it also almost looks like she dyed it like really, really dark on top of just cutting it. So I don't know. I think it's funny that it's like a production joke that made it into the show. So let's see. Where is it? So Cordelia mocks Wesley for dating Virginia. They clearly have like a sibling-like relationship. I guess he's getting to go to all these like fancy galas and premieres and stuff. So she kind of mocks him about it. Let's see. Wesley asks how Angel is doing, and Cordelia basically says that he's just been brooding all the time about Darla, just kind of back to usual.
Yep.
We learn that Angel is taking a break from sulking and brooding about Darla in the hotel and is actually taking his show on the road, tagging along with Gunn to help out Gunn's cousin who's gotten himself into something illegal. We catch up with them. Gunn's cousin got hired as the driver for, I guess, they don't make it really clear. So basically, when I was taking the notes for this, I had just straight up completely forgotten about this episode. So I didn't go into it with like any context of like what happens. And so I didn't really follow what they were saying in this scene about what the plan is. Through later in the episode, you figure out that basically Gunn's cousin got hired to be the getaway driver. There are these demons that are planning a heist to go steal something from a museum. They're bringing down a vampire from Las Vegas to help with the heist. And so basically the cousin got himself hired as a driver and is like, I think this might be a really bad idea.
He's way in over his head.
Yeah. So let's see. Angel recognizes the name of the psycho vampire from Vegas. His name is Jadon. Gunn tells his cousin to take the meeting, but Gunn will get him out before anything illegal happens. Not sure what his plan was there. Gunn asks Angel about Jadon. Angel says that he's dangerous. He has a reputation, and Angel wants to take over the case, but Gunn's not going to give up that easily. They argue, but Angel does his I'm going to make jokes and then leave with the address before you can follow me thing, and Gunn's not happy about it. Angel returns back to the hotel to find Kate there. Now I know why I don't remember this episode.
Yeah.
Kate asks Angel if he knows where Darla is because it would make her job easier. Apparently she's looking for Darla because of a murder that happened a few weeks ago that resulted in a guy getting his throat ripped out. Is she referencing like the fake setup thing? Or is this like a fake APB that Wolfram and Hart has put out on her?
Maybe. Yeah, they may have framed her.
Even though they wanted her to go back to Angel,
it's confusing.
Yeah. So let's see. Angel tells Kate that Darla's not there. He doesn't know where she is. Angel tries to play nice and tell Kate to stay out of the way, but Kate clearly is either enjoying trading verbal jabs with Angel again, or she just won't take the hint that Darla's not there. Angel finally gives up, knocks Kate's stake/cross across the room with such speed that it gets impaled in the wall, grabs Kate, tells her not to get in the way between him and Darla or she's probably going to get killed. Kate tells Angel to let her go. He does, and she leaves.
Jesus.
Yeah. Angel regroups in the lobby with Cordelia and Wesley. They're psyched that he's back on a case and not brooding over Darla for a change. Angel has a plan to intercept Jadon and take his place in the heist. But it sounds like he's a pretty extroverted person who used to run with Sinatra and the Rat Pack. Cordy and Wesley are skeptical Angel will be able to pull off pretending to be like a friendly and high energy person.
Right.
At the bus station, Angel meets Jadon. He basically pretends to fangirl over meeting such a famous vampire, then stakes him and steals his sunglasses. He changes into a bright yellow shirt and blue suit and acts like Jadon when he gets picked up by a demon.
It's a very fun scene, the way like he like gets out like close and then like he's acting so like happy to see him, and then he just takes him and he just goes back to like, straight faced
Yep.
Angel.
Yep. And he's got his like coat buttoned up all the way to his neck, so he's like covering up something that he's wearing underneath, and then you get this bright yellow shirt on Angel, which is very odd. But you gotta kind of appreciate Angel's ability to, at least for short stints of time, pretend to not be his broody, very serious, furrowed browed self. Like he can it it's funny watching the character of Angel try to play another character, because you can still
Mhm.
see Angel underneath, and you can see that he's like constantly thinking to himself, like, okay, friendlier, more energy. Come on, Angel, like you can do it, blah blah blah.
Yeah, and I feel like they did it way more in season 1, but they don't. They
Oh
don't
yeah,
really
with
do that anymore.
Herb Saunders when he's wearing the
For
Hawaiian
Baltimore,
shirt.
yeah. It's Baltimore. It's Herb Saunders.
For
Love
some
that.
reason, I don't know why, but like I've seen outtakes of that Herb Saunders,
Mhm.
um, and for some reason, I don't know if it's the accent he's trying to do or what. Every time I hear Herb Saunders, Voldemort, I don't know what
Oh man.
it is,
Oh man.
but like I think I had to turn subtitles on to realize he said Baltimore, because it just
Yeah.
sounds like Voldemort to me. I don't
Oh
know.
man.
Um, but anyway, so let's see. Angel and the demon arrive at some like abandoned building, and they go inside to find a security guard and another demon. The driver arrives, and we expect it to be Gun's cousin, but looks like Gun took his place because it's Gun. Um, the demons and humans circle up to start to plan the heist. The demon who picked up Angel explains that they're looking to steal the Shroud of Rahmon, um, which is worth about $2 million on the black market. The demons are very organized with schematics and everything. They know every single layer of like security. I mean, I guess it helps they have a human security guard on the heist team. Um, but yeah, so we learned that the heist is going down that night.
Yeah, they're
Um,
professionals. They got an inside man. It's the whole thing.
let's see. Back at the hotel, Cordelia and Wesley are doing research online. They zero in on the shroud. At the heist, Angel keeps trying to get the team to leave Gun behind in the truck, so he won't get hurt, but the team isn't falling for it. They get into the museum easily because there's a security guard on the team who like duct taped a door so it doesn't lock. Um, we land back with the two detectives from earlier in the episode. They are filling Kate in on the heist, and they believe will be going down at the museum soon. They are showing her pictures of the team members, and heard she may be able to ID one of them. They got a picture of Angel pretending to be J. Dawn at the bus station. She says she's interested in joining their investigation. Back at the hotel, Wesley has tracked down the Shroud of Rahmon. In one of the books, the shroud was woven by a head priest who was said to have been driven mad by the demon himself. Since Rahmon was defeated, the priest dyed the shroud in the blood of 7 virgin women sacrificed at the first full moon, then laid it upon Rahmon's body in order to prevent his resurrection. The shroud supposedly absorbed Rahmon's power, so whoever wears it gets that power. Wesley and Cordelia realize that they've sent Angel after a box that makes people go crazy and start killing, and realizing that maybe Angel is so late getting back because the heist is going down that night, so they rush to go find him. Cordelia brings up a really good point in this about like, so the shroud was dyed in the blood of 7 virgin women. Like, why is it always women?
Why is it always virgins? I don't.
Yeah, it's like, you better believe that if it had to be the blood of men, they would have found another way around this real quick.
Right.
And Wesley's like, I don't know how to reply to this. So, but yeah, it's just a funny little moment. Let's see. Back at the heist, the guys blow open the vault door. Angel is sent in to defuse the next alarm system because it's connected to thermal cameras. He's a vampire and thus room temperature, so the cameras don't pick him up. As he enters the vault to disable the system, we see the shroud affect him and his eyes turn yellow for a moment. We hear the voice of the demon, and Angel is tempted to open the box. Angel disables the alarm system by just ripping all the wires out in one blow. Well, that was super easy.
Yeah.
Um,
Barely an inconvenience.
I wanted to make that joke.
Oh man, feel free anytime.
Oh
Big
my
fan
God.
of that series.
If you haven't seen Pitch Meeting by Screen Rant, you should definitely check it out.
Very good.
Let's see. So the team circle the box and lift it, ready to complete their heist. Wesley and Cordelia arrive at the museum. They determine the heist is happening that night after finding the door that was duct taped to remain unlocked, which is how everybody's getting in that night. As Wesley and Cordy enter the building, they start to feel and act kind of weird, like they're loopy, somewhat drunk.
It's very weird. Like they're like that, but no one, everyone else is like way more intense. You know what I mean?
So, like, none of the demons were affected until they got into the vault. I know the vault is open by the time that Cordy and Wesley get there, but they're like, as soon as they walk in the door, they're affected. And it takes until the demons and Gunn and the other security guard actually walk up to the box that they get affected. Yeah. It's not super clear as to why or who it affects and how quickly and whatever. I don't know. So Kate also shows up alone because, that's how she rolls. No sign of the other detectives or any sort of backup. She just kind of drives up and is like, oh, hey, this door is duct taped open. That's kind of suspicious. I think I'm going to go in and not call any backup or anything. As the heist team is working to get the shroud out of the museum, which, by the way, so the shroud is kind of like a shawl fit, or like it basically looks like a big blanket. But it's inside of this like super heavy box to try to keep its power contained inside the box, which clearly it's not. So yeah. So as the heist team is working to get the shroud out of the museum, Angel and Gunn keep antagonizing each other. This leads to Gunn trying to get Angel to fight him and both abandoning their posts and helping to carry the super heavy box. This leads to it being dropped by the other guys who couldn't hold the weight on their own, and the box kind of like it has like this glass window in it that breaks. Yeah, I don't know. One of the demons pulls a gun and Angel and Gunn stop fighting. Then the security guard says it's time for him to get tied up, so it looks like he wasn't part of the heist. One of the demons ties him up, but the human security guard keeps saying that one of them needs to hit him hard and make it look real. The big spiny demon that's with them says he'll do it, then literally grabs the guy's head and twists it clean off.
Yeah.
No one seems to have a problem with this.
One less share, I guess.
I guess. I don't... Yeah, they just, like, kind of just don't react. Okay, that's cool. Elsewhere in the museum, Kate's walking around with her gun out. She runs into Wesley, almost shooting him. Wesley seems drunk at first, telling Kate that he's there to warn Angel about her hair. He then gets a moment of clarity, telling Kate that he actually needs to warn Angel about the shroud because it makes everyone act differently. The scene quickly swaps over to Cordelia checking out her teeth in the glass reflection of one of the museum cases. She's like, my teeth are so big. I'm like, you are drunk. But yeah, so it makes Wesley and Cordelia seem drunk. Before he got his head twisted off, it made the human security guard just kind of seem deranged and like, I am entitled to everything. Gunn gets like a massive headache and says it sounds like it feels like there are flies in his head. I don't know. It's all very odd. Let's see. Where was I? Oh, so Kate gets affected by the shroud, and when she turns around, Wesley is gone. We don't know where he went. Kate gets affected by... Oh, no, sorry. I already read that. Meanwhile, back with the heist gang, the demon who picked up Angel from the bus stop goes crazy in the elevator, freaking out that they left fingerprints behind and starts frantically wiping down every wall of the elevator. The big spiny guy, Angel and Gunn continue to try to carry the box out, but Gunn says that he has to stop because his head is full of flies. Wesley turns up and tries to warn Angel about the shroud. Angel tells him to leave. Kate shows up, gun drawn, and tells them all to stop. Angel, whose eyes have turned yellow again, punches out Wesley and starts antagonizing Kate, bringing up her dad and stuff. He gets close enough to her to grab her. Kate's gun goes off several times, but I guess she misses. Angel bites her, and you hear the sound of him drinking. So that's not great.
No, that's really bad. Really bad.
Cut back over to the abandoned building where we see the truck the guys are using for the heist crash into a car. Maybe because they still made Gunn drive even though he thinks his head is full of flies? He managed to get all the way there. He just couldn't stop? I don't know. The 4 remaining heist members, I guess they went back for the crazy guy in the elevator, carry the box in. Angel, is laughing, and Gunn tells Angel that he's an animal for drinking Kate. The demons finally open the box. We hear a lot of spooky sounds, but nothing visually happens. They all grab different corners of the shroud and say it belongs to them. One of the demon ends up shooting the other one in the head. It ends up being Gunn and Angel fighting over the shroud, and Angel tells Gunn that he needs him to trust him because he knows what to do. Gunn lets go of the shroud, and Angel takes it outside, drenches it in alcohol, and lights it on fire. It kind of explodes. This seems to release the demon's power, which was trapped in the shroud, so the demon wouldn't be able to get resurrected. So does that mean now he can be resurrected because his power is no longer trapped in the shroud? I don't know. It's never explained. It never comes up again.
Right. It's the problem's solved. That's it.
Sure. Back in present time, with Wesley in the interrogation room, it's clear that he told investigators more or less everything he knows. They think he's crazy. They start to arrest him, but Kate walks in, white as a sheet, and tells them to let Wesley go. Back with Kate at her desk, she's not even attempting to cover up the massive bite mark in her neck. We see her view of what happened, with Angel grabbing her, biting her for a second, and then whispering for her to stay down or the other demons would kill her. She took his instructions and played dead, but came out of the whole situation alive. I'm not, like, in the perspective that we get from Kate, it looks like Angel only drank from her for like a second, so I'm not sure why she's so white as a sheet or why she was completely unresponsive when the cops showed up and found Wesley over her unconscious body. You think if she was playing dead by the time the demons had left and Wesley was there trying to wake her up, like she would have gotten the hint that, hey, it's safe, I can like stop playing dead now. But I guess not.
We needed the drama. We needed the, that's the best part, is the messiness.
I guess. Back at the hotel, Cordy and Wesley are stressing out, waiting for Angel to come out from his room. They discuss how not only is he dealing with all the Darla stuff, and was clearly affected by the shroud, but he also has had human blood for the first time in a long time. So on top of everything else, they may have reawoken his bloodlust. They both decide they put in enough work for the day and head home.
Oh, man.
Yeah, it's... Up in his room, we see Angel sitting in his chair, brooding and reliving biting Kate in his mind. So, that's great.
Yeah. It's real good. Really good. So, I guess... What do you think? What do you think of the Shroud of Rahmon? Rahmon? I don't know.
I keep wanting to say ramen, so...
The Shroud of Rahmon.
Or like put an extra D at the end of it, like Ramond.
Right.
But that's not it. I don't know. The Shroud of Raymond.
Yes, the Shroud of Raymond.
I don't know.
What do you give the Shroud of Raymond?
5.
Oh, Jesus.
This episode is dumb. There's so many plot holes. The only funny thing about it is watching Angel trying to pretend to be somebody else. Angel and Gunn antagonizing each other like mid-heist makes no sense. And I can't use the shroud thing affecting them as just like the excuse for everything to happen. At one point Cordelia starts like stealing artifacts because she's like hitting on a mannequin and is like, you're a mannequin. You don't need this necklace, right? And like takes the necklace off the mannequin and puts it on her. I don't know. It's all just really dumb. And like with with the with the high emotional impact of episodes like Dear Boy and Darla, having episodes like Guys Will Be Guys and the Shroud of Rahmon is like, I want to go into the writers and I want to be like, no, stay on task here. Like, stop getting distracted. Stop getting Angel is tired, not sleeping well, spacey brain.
Yeah.
Can we keep on task here, please?
Oh man, I was a little kinder. I gave it a 6. I like heist films and movies. They're very fun and silly. It isn't the best one of these I've ever seen, to be sure. I think the biggest thing is that the Shroud of Rahmon is not consistently handled and consistently presented in its effects on people. For me, that's the best. That's the worst part. And I don't know. I like how Angel saved Kate in this situation because I remember watching this the first time and I was like, wait, what? What happened? Like Angel bit Kate or some lady, however it's presented in the beginning. But it'll be interesting to see as we go on. I mean, we know, but let's say that people don't know. This is spoiler free. What their relationship is going forward because Kate's been really hating Angel for a very long time, and he did her at least a solid. I mean, getting bitten couldn't have been fun, but you had to sell it, right?
Yeah. I mean, we already know my feelings on Kate.
Right. Yes.
I mean, the fact that like she's in this episode and I've completely forgotten this episode existed. Like, I don't know. I would prefer if they're gonna do a heist episode, like they did that episode in season 3 of Buffy with them trying to like steal the books from the mayor, and like Buffy did like is it like Ocean's 13
Mission
or whatever?
Impossible.
Yeah,
Like,
Mission
yeah.
Impossible coming
Yeah.
down through a skylight. Like,
Mm,
okay, if you're gonna do like a heist thing, like do something funny like that. But
yeah.
like this seemed altogether too easy. Like, oh, we put duct tape on the door so it wasn't locked. And then like, okay, yeah, they used freaking nitro to blow open the vault door, but like, I'm sorry, you're telling me that the one security guard they knocked out was the only person in this museum, and like no one else heard you freaking blow this vault to Kingdom Come? And then Angel to diffuse the thermal camera alarm system inside the vault just kind of like grabs all the wires in a handful and just yanks. Like,
I mean, it's not great. I'm not saying it's great, but yeah. Oh man. All right, is there anything else you want to touch on before we head on out of here?
if you think this episode is amazing and awesome and then I'm just totally missing the point, feel free to hit me up on Twitter and tell me so. I will get back to you in probably 10 to 12 business weeks. Um, if you want to reach out to the show for anything that you want a reasonable timeline on, please reach out to Brian. But
Yes.
you can find me on Twitter. I'm at Jillian_Swan. That's Swan with 2 N's. If you're watching on YouTube, my handle is right below my face.
You're there. You can follow me on Twitter at the fake BMAR. That's BMARR. You can follow the channel on Twitter at WG Everything, on Instagram at Wicked Everything, at Twitch at twitch.tv/Wicked Everything, and on TikTok, also at Wicked Good Everything. This channel is Better Radio, no longer Wicked Good Podcasts. Hopefully, enough people will search it so that it actually comes up when you search Better Radio on YouTube. Been having a little trouble with the rebrand. Hopefully, by the time this comes out, things are more set in place and YouTube recognizes that we changed the name to the channel. But we will see on that. Give us a rating on iTunes and Spotify if you're listening there. And tell your friends and your enemies about the Sunnydale Review. We'll see you in the next one. And that's it for now. If this truly is the end of the Sunnydale Review, I just want to thank everybody who's downloaded, rated, given us thumbs up, and just hung with the series for this long. Made it through 5 seasons of Buffy, and one season and a few extra episodes of season 2 for Angel. Unfortunate situation with the former showrunner creator kind of ruining the vibe of the show. Certainly much worse for the people who had to deal with his heinous acts in real life. But I don't want to focus on that. I want to just say, again, thank you so much for being a part of one of my favorite podcasting projects I've ever been a part of. If you see the channel and the Wicked Get Everything and Wicked Get Sports channels, you know I'm part of quite a few of them. This was a great time. Jillian's an amazing co-host, an even better friend. And I will miss talking about Buffy and Angel if this is truly the end of that. So again, I know I said it a few times. I'm getting a bit rambly now, but thank you so much for checking out the Sunnydale review. And we'll see you when we see you. The Sunnydale Review is a Wicked Good Everything production. The fan art of Buffy was created by Fishbone Art. The logo was created by Tamar Kutab. The original intro and outro song was created by Alex Carl.